It goes without saying, Jeezy.
Okay.
I think most of this room already knows you're a Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum recording artist, New York Times best-selling author, entrepreneur,
that part,
philanthropist, and a trap music pioneer.
Yeah.
You've already cemented your legacy in hip-hop as a legend, but you're still constantly growing and evolving, even on your latest album, which we'll talk about, which is so powerful. And back in October, speaking of growth, you announced after 20 years that you were leaving Def Jam. And you released a new project independently, which I love. I want to start there. What inspired you to leave the record label and to go down this venture?
Man, I feel like if Kobe would have ever left the Lakers, rest in peace Kobe, he would have went and started his own team. We don't know what it would have been called, but it would have been Kobe Bryant something. And I feel like as a staple artist of that label, I've done records with everybody from Jeezy to Mariah Carey to Rihanna to Kanye West, you name it. There was nobody in that building that I hadn't done a record with. And I've seen 5 different regimes in that building. From L.A. Reid signed me, Kevin Loud signed me, Jay-Z became the president. I seen it up and down, up and down. And the one thing that I did love in the beginning was the freedom to be an artist, right? And the freedom to be a businessman. And it's just like with anything else in life, it's like it's art, right? And you don't want to get to a place in your life with your art where it's about deadlines and bottom lines and things like, because this is art. This is what we do, right? This is what I love, and I want to still love it. So I want to do it in my own tempo. You know what I'm saying? I want to do it in my own time. I want to take the time to go get re-inspired and not say I got to put out another album next year. Because, by the way, and I got a lot of albums. So if they want a new album, go get the old album. Then wait till I put out the new album. Then we'll get that. You feel what I'm saying? But this time I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do it. I built a great team. Shout out to my team, Agency 99. And I just wanted to be a vessel to show cats that you don't have to always have crutches to do what you do, right? I invested my own money, my own time, and I don't think a lot of people understood that. My first 5 albums at Def Jam, really all my albums, my first 5 albums, I spent millions of my own money before I received Def Jam payments. So what I would do is go record my albums, right? And then take it to the label and have them reimburse me, right? Sounds good, but it's like, why would you go buy a house and go back to the bank and have them loan you the money again? It don't make sense, you feel what I'm saying? So I had to really sit back and think about that, and it's like, I just want to put my art out the way I want to put it out. If I want to put out 29 songs, and I think a lot of people didn't understand it was more than music. This was my journal. These are the things that I was going through, and I wanted to give it to my culture, and I wanted to give it to them the way I wanted to give it to them, and at the time that I wanted to give it to them without no restrictions, and that's why I decided to go independent, because I'm a boss.
Because you're a boss. And we
a boss.
We have a lot of bosses in the building, and I love how you said you took the risk.
Yeah.
You took that leap. And this is a room filled of people who take risks, and sometimes we don't always have the reward right away. How did you remain stable mentally and financially at that time in your life?
Oh, well, financially it was tricky. The beginning of my career, I did a lot of things that I wouldn't recommend anybody would do. I bought a lot of assets that were depreciating. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn the hard way, but I learned. And to answer your question, I always had faith, right? Because this isn't something that I woke up and had. This is a God-given gift. And when I'm able to express myself and connect with my people and show them another way, then that means more to me than any business. And that's how I was able to stay sane, because I knew I had a bigger purpose than just selling records. You know what I'm saying? I knew that this was a small piece to who I was becoming and where I was going. I just had to navigate it well. I don't regret anything. Like, I've been through some things where, you know, a couple of y'all, DJ Self, a few of y'all know me from back in the day. I probably couldn't sit in this room because y'all be like, oh my man, who's that? Who let him in? But, you know, I had to grow into, you know, who I was becoming. And I was able to do that because I was given a gift, and it was just bigger than music, right? It was about life. It was about evolution. And once I figured that out and started to lean into my purpose, it was so much easier for me to grow because I had to give myself permission, right? You know, people come in your dressing room and, you know, it was crystal and everything, and now you're trying to keep yourself together. They coming in there's vegetables and water, and you ain't the same Jeezy no more, right? So you lose a little of that, you know, that edge, but people don't see the bigger picture. They see, you know, they want you to be who you are at the moment, right? And I'm working on myself for the future, and that's what makes this great. It's just like, when you see me, I'm a walking example of where I'm trying to go, right? I'm not perfect by far, but I'm gonna walk in that path because that's the path God gave for me.
I'm so glad. You could give it up for that. You could clap for that. I'm so happy that you mentioned growth and evolution because on the new album, I Might Forgive, but I Don't Forget.
I do not.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Forgiveness, because it's a part of growth, right? When we let go of past and trauma, and you talk about that. The album is so deep. You talk about the betrayal. You talk about the relationship you had with your mother, and you know how you didn't cry. You didn't know how to grieve when she passed.
Right.
Why was it so important for you, even today, to continue to forgive? And can you really forgive if you don't forget?
I think you can. I think that you live and you learn. If you get burnt by a stove, you know not to put your hand back on the stove. You understand that? And I think for me, it's like when you evolving and you starting to have this success and you're walking into these different rooms and you meeting these different people and you on this path and you know where you're going and you having your Tony Montana moment, right? But you still dealing with the same emotion that you dealt with when there was betrayal, right? So you still meeting new people and still having that armor on because you feel like you can't trust someone because of how you used to feel. Mind you, now when you get these feelings, it feels like it just happened, right? So you at the top of your game and you still going through all these things. And I had to just sit back and say to myself, how am I gonna be able to receive what God is trying to give me if I have the same armor I had on the day he put me in the streets? And I had to make a choice because one thing I do know is you might be mad and you might be resentful and you might not want to forgive, but those people that you feel that way about are outliving their lives and they don't care what they did to you, right? They're gonna do and live their life. They're probably doing that to somebody else right now. So why am I gonna sit there and be the one to deal with it? I'm gonna forgive you and I'm gonna go get to this evolution that I'm on. That's how I feel.
It's amazing.
But I ain't gonna forget though. I ain't forgetting.
Not gonna forget.
It's not happening.
I love that. I heard you say, just to switch gears a bit, that music is your talent.
Business is my passion.
And I want to talk about that because you've always been a businessman, even when you entered into the music industry. How did the music industry make you a better businessman?
Well, my prior job to music.
We can talk about it.
My prior job, for those who don't know me, it taught me a lot about how to negotiate.
It's real. It was real in the streets.
Right.
About growth and evolution.
Under pressure. So, you know, it gave me this gift that was different, you know, because here I am, a street kid coming from the streets. In some type of way, Adam got on the radar with, it was really because of my friend, rest in peace, Shakir Stewart. He was an A&R in Atlanta, and he was right next to L.A. Reid. And he went to L.A. Reid, said, I got this kid that's from Atlanta, he's on fire, and I'm gonna bring him to the building. And when he brung me, I brung all my jewelry, everything. I brung it all out, because I'm gonna get this record deal. And I got the deal, you know, and I couldn't believe it. And Kevin Liles signed me, L.A. Reid signed me. The next week, Kevin Liles left and went to Atlantic. And I was like, man, but I'm gonna show you how God worked. 2 weeks later, I'm at Def Jam. I see a Maybach pull up, the door open, Jay-Z gets out. He said, Jeezy, what's up? Come upstairs with me. We ride in the elevator. He said, I'm the new president. Anything you need, let me know. I said, damn, that's real, right? So now, I'm getting the buzz, I'm getting the deal. Puff called me out of nowhere. he called me through my friend, rest in peace, Kim Porter. And he got this group called Boys in the Hood. And he like, I'm like, Puff, I'm going to Magic City, you know, to do my thing. And he like, go to Kinko's and sign this contract. Now, I'm not a, you know, at that time, I'm not a real artist, but I know damn well I ain't going to Kinko's and signing no contract and send it back. So I told him I'd call him in business hours, you know, 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow. So a gift that I got early was just knowing my worth, right? Because I understood what I was doing and I knew how I was connecting with people, and I knew that wasn't an easy thing. So the first thing I said to them before I even talked to my lawyer was, look, you want me to do 3 Boys in the Hood albums. I'm only gonna do 1, but I want this number. Now, mind you, I didn't know it was gonna work, you know what I'm saying? Right. But I gave him the number, and he was like, all right, cool, let's do it. But he's like, how you gonna do Boys in the Hood in your album? And I said, I'll talk to Jay. So I called Jay and L.A. Reid, and I said, yo, this, that, and L.A. Reid called me. He's like, hey, man, who the hell negotiated this? This is genius. And, you know, I was like, well, I did actually, you know what I'm saying? And they couldn't believe it. But I knew then, in the room for these powerful individuals at the time, I never forgot my worth. I never forgot where I came from, where I was going, and what my focus and my purpose was. And even without a lawyer, but I wouldn't tell nobody to do that now because it ain't the time for that. I knew that I could negotiate that situation in the sense of, because my old job taught me, even under pressure, right? Don't forget your worth, you know?
Yeah. And everything's always negotiable anyway.
Yeah, especially when you got the upper hand.
Yeah. That part.
Right.
You know, some of the best lessons in life, I think, come from failure.
Yes.
You're someone who's been very transparent about your life, the journey, the wins and the losses. How has failure helped you or affected you and your business and as a businessman?
I mean, just in life as a man in general, I've never won anything when I've won. I've never learned anything. I've never learned anything from any win, right? But every time I've lost, there's knowledge there, there's data. And even when I'm talking to my friends, I can talk to them with a straight face when they ask me honest, open-hearted questions about things, because I've been through it and I know the feeling. So I'm just gonna tell them what I know. And you know, knowledge is knowing something, but wisdom is knowing what to do with that, right? And you can't get no wisdom out of wins. And I'm gonna celebrate you. Every time you win, but like my grandma used to tell me, don't go for the yays, because when the boos come, you're not gonna be able to deal with that. And for me, it was just like, I remember losing and just thinking like, why I gotta keep losing? Why I gotta keep being in last place? But as I got older and things started coming at me in life, and I was so sharp and great at making decisions and having discernment, I knew it was what I learned from my losses, right? So I tell anybody that if you're losing, embrace that. Take it down, write the notes, get the data, because one day at some point, that's gonna help you or someone else, because you know, like, you're not telling somebody what you think, you're telling them what you know, because you experienced that.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Another thing that, you know, many of us know about you is you are big into real estate.
Yes.
Again, big into business. And I wanted to actually talk about that too. Has there ever been a business opportunity that you missed or maybe regretted?
I wouldn't say regretted. I definitely missed a few. I don't think I was mentally ready for them. You know what I'm saying? I think I was trying to figure it out.
Which one?
I missed a few. You know, I say I own half Atlanta. I think I could have owned the other half if I would have been on top of it. Wow. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a street guy. You know, I'm coming into things, and I've been burnt so many times, I can't trust nobody. You know, and that's why I look at what, you know, the guys are doing, Earn Your Leisure, and Derek and all these guys. It's like they're giving people knowledge, because we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? We was walking in the lawyers' offices and signing bad deals and not even knowing it. We was doing real estate deals. Like, you got to think about it. You know, my first apartment was in my daddy's name. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that. So after you take so many losses, you can't trust people, right? And in the beginning, I didn't trust. So even when people brought me opportunities, I would overthink it because I'm just like, just like anybody else, you wake up, you look at your money, you feel like you got it, but at the end of the day, I tell anybody, and I ask all y'all in this room, who's your best employee? Anybody? Can anybody answer that? Who's your best employee? Who? You the best employee? Who's your best employee? Black Enterprise, who's your best employee? Your money. If your money ain't working for you, ain't nobody working, it's your money. And I had to learn that. If your money ain't working for you, ain't nothing working. And it's about trust. And that's why even with myself, I had to take the mask off and put it all on the line for the culture, because I believe the way this generation is getting money, they could change the world, right? But they're gonna have to learn how to trust somebody. They're gonna have to learn how to build a team, because if not, you're gonna squander it all away trying to bet on yourself, right? And that's the thing, is like, you giving these kids $30-40 million, why not? Why they ain't gonna go to the jewelry store with her? They thinking these cars are assets. You know what I'm saying? They thinking these bad loans are business, right? Because this person next to them that they can trust, but they might not have the knowledge or the infrastructure or the information to take it to the next level. Because I look at it like this, like, you get a deal for $30 million, you should never be broke in your life.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You should never have to turn back. And that's what goes to the other side of that. And I want to keep it light because I don't want to get, but when you're not making the right decisions, that leaves you out to where you're not exempt from the things that happen. Because you can see people like Nipsey Hussle, he was trying to get there, right? And he was close. And, you're not exempt. So when you change your life, you change the quality of life of the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's really about, and that you change the quality of people of life around you. That's why I love what LeBron and Rich them are doing. Like, that's what it's about. That's the picture right there. That's what we want to see. That's Black enterprise when you ask me.
That is.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Absolutely.
what I like to see. You feel
Absolutely.
me? For sure.
Trust is not always easy, especially for those who have hard upbringings like you did.
Right.
How is it that you were able to sort of bring those walls down and let your guards down? Or is that something you still struggle with?
Who said I took them down?
Right. So they're still up.
I took a few layers of the bricks down. I'm doing better. I'm here, right? You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, to be honest with you, life is an amazing thing. You know what I mean? It shows you and it teaches you things. And, if I can give anybody any knowledge about trust, it wasn't the people that I couldn't trust. I had to really learn how to trust myself, right? Because if I put my boundaries up, if I keep myself where I'm supposed to be, and I know what's right and I know what's wrong for me, when I know what's good in my heart, I ain't got to worry about nobody else, because I'm gonna already know if it's not the energy I need. I'm gonna exit the building or keep it moving, and that's what I had to learn. So it's not really about trusting everybody else. It's about trusting myself and putting points on the board myself. If I tell myself I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And when I don't, I gotta have a conversation with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta tighten up. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's about trusting yourself. Yeah.
Jeez, we do have to wrap it up, but before we do, I do want to just speak to the crowd again. This is an under 40 crowd that is winning, but still has so much further to go.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back and have a conversation with that Jeezy?
Wow. I just tell him, lay low on the Hennessy. and I tell him that you are enough. You are enough, bro. Like, you ain't, you are enough. Like, you are enough.
And quickly, how did you get to that point to feel that you are enough?
A lot of work. I'm still doing the work now today, and I know he's going to ask the question. That's why I tried to integrate that journey into the music, because I feel like that's where I'm at. Like Andre 3000 said, it ain't a lot to rap about when you get to a certain age. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to see that journey that I'm on. And like I said, when I started to see the people's quality of life change around me, I knew I was on the right path. And that's where I'm at with it. So that's why I'm able to get to that space, because I'm changing myself, and I'm watching my friends and my peers change, and I'm getting those conversations that, I didn't get you know, when I wasn't open enough and being transparent, you know what I'm saying? So they know the real Jeezy Jenkins now, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Is there anything else you would add?
I mean, that's Black Enterprise, baby, you feel me? That's it.
Give it up, y'all, for Jeezy Jenkins.
For sure.
Thank you so much.